This is the Swarm and Shoot football show with me, Manny Matsakis, the head football coach at Defiance College. We feature Defiance College football and everything that influences our program. This show is brought to you by our friends at Big B Coffee right across campus on North Clinton Street. I'm actually having a cup right now, so everybody check it out on YouTube, and you can see the video of the cup and how delicious this beverage is. Get the finest coffee beverages, even tea, in Defiance, as well as great pastries, breakfast sandwiches to start your day off, and you can even get a pick-me-up like a lot of our coaching staff does in the afternoon. I'd also like to bring on board the maker of this fine apparel right here, and not just Nike, but we're talking about BSN Sports, all right? I'd like to bring on board our latest sponsor, BSN Sports, and Rob Held and his sales team are the professionals you need to get in touch with for all your sporting goods and apparel needs in Ohio. Not only do they work with high school and college sports teams, they also deliver outstanding apparel to businesses so they can brand themselves in a first-class manner.
We are joined today by Emily Cotten, the new offensive assistant and director of football operations at Defiance College. Emily, welcome to Defiance. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I know you've been here a few days. How has Defiance treated you so far?
It's great. Everyone's very welcoming. Town's really cute. I love it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. We're going to go back here and kind of how you got into football. Take me back to your childhood. Where was the kind of the genesis of you getting into the game of football?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up with two brothers who didn't necessarily like football. It was actually my grandmother. She raised me to be a Dallas Cowboys fan, hardcore, so didn't have much choice over that one. But I kept up with it through middle school, high school, and I realized I really loved it. Did fantasy football with my friends, and I kind of had an epiphany in college, just realized that, I wanted to have a career in something that I realized I had a passion for.
Yeah. You're a Georgia girl. Take me through where you grew up, Atlanta area. Take me through that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from Fayetteville, Georgia, which is about 45 minutes south of the city. It's much bigger than Defiance is for sure, but, so it's taken a little bit of getting used to. But yeah, it's a good town, good football down there.
Yeah, obviously SEC country, but you are not a SEC fan. You were a Big 12 fan.
No, I'm not. Yeah, right. So I went to Oklahoma State University, just got my bachelor's from there in May. So my mom went to Baylor, so we're a Big 12 family for sure. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. Take me back to being a Cowboys fan and your grandma. Is there some history with your family being a big Cowboy Dallas fan?
Yeah, well, my parents are originally from East Texas, and, some of my fondest memories are, Thanksgiving Day, watching the Cowboys with my grandma, and it really had an impact on me, and when I got older, I fell in love with it. Just the intricate parts of football and, the community it brings, I really loved it. So, I contribute a lot of my passion for football to her.
Yeah. And sports growing up, was that something that you were involved in as well?
Yeah, I played tennis for 6 years. I did that in middle school going into high school. I played in USTA for about a year. Didn't want to play in college. I don't think I was good enough to do that. But, yeah, I played tennis. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. When did football, that kind of be what you wanted to do for your future? When did that really strike you? When did that really get into your mind that football is where I want to go in the future?
Well, I kind of like to describe it as kind of, those aha moments that people talk about in their life. And so I remember sitting in the Denver airport and, at that time, I was thinking about maybe going into piloting, something along those lines, because that's what my dad did. But I was sitting in the airport. I came across this article from Catherine Smith, and she was the first full-time assistant coach for the Buffalo Bills, the female full-time. And it was that aha moment. It was great. I thought, okay, so for the first time I realized that, what I had a passion for, I could actually follow through with that as a career.
Yeah. Take me through kind of your football past. What are some things that you've done with the game here in the recent years since high school and college and those sorts of things, Emily?
Yeah. Well, I first started out as a sophomore in college. I started officiating high school football, and I did that for 3 seasons up until the end of my senior year. I really enjoyed that. It was I was way out of my comfort zone. It was not something I was used to, especially, in Oklahoma, football is different out there. So I was pretty nervous about it, but I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. And I took those skills and I was able to, I got a job working in operations. I volunteered over there a lot in our football program, and I really loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. Worked over there for about a year.
Yeah, yeah. And your involvement with officiating, describe that a little bit. Enjoyable after probably you got used to it a little bit. I'm sure at the beginning, like you said, it was nerve-wracking, I'm sure.
It was nerve-wracking. My first season, it was, I had no idea what I was going into. I wanted to officiate because, one, I really didn't have anything on my resume in terms of football, so I thought it was going to really set me apart from those that I would have to, compete with for a job, essentially. And so I thought it was a good way to set myself apart, aside from I really wanted to learn the rules of the game. And I thought, what better way to do that? I didn't play in high school, obviously, so what better way to learn those rules than to actually have to learn the rules? Yeah. So that's really what got me involved. So, and I ended up really loving it.
Yeah. And you probably understood quite a bit of the rules just growing up watching it, though, and being around that with your grandma.
Kind of, so. I mean, for me, it was just watching the game, and it wasn't so much about, she taught me the basics, obviously, but officiating really taught me the root of those basics.
Yeah. And who was a player that you kind of looked up to? Did you have somebody that was a favorite?
Oh, absolutely. Jason Witten.
Okay.
That was my grandma's favorite. That was my favorite, the Iron Man of the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah. And being a female, and people don't think of females getting into football, and that's a challenge, obviously.
Right.
Take me through that and kind of the barriers that you are breaking with what you're doing.
Well, yeah, I didn't really know what I was getting into as far as officiating. That was my first real, oh, wow, not a whole lot of women really do this, not just officiating, but in the football industry. There aren't very many women who actually put themselves out there to work in this industry. And so that was a bit of a shock, a bit of a culture shock, officiating. And, so when I started looking for a job, after graduation, I was trying to look for positions I was qualified for, but I didn't play in high school. I didn't play in college. So that was something that I felt a little nervous about. But it's been amazing. I mean, I've had a few mentors in the NFL who have been able to kind of help push me along and encourage me. Meredith Manley of the Arizona Cardinals has been amazing. Vanessa Hutchinson, she originally worked for the Browns. She's been incredibly encouraging. And of course, Sarah Hogan, all of these really strong, passionate women have just helped kind of pave the way for me. So I'm much appreciative to them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What have you taken away from them? What is maybe most important, or a few things that you've learned from those women?
One of the biggest is, follow what you're passionate about. For me, I didn't really know, what that was, because I loved football so much. I didn't realize it was actually something that I could have a career in. And so when I read about Catherine Smith of the Buffalo Bills, it was very, it was amazing. I thought, here's a very strong, passionate woman who's following her dream. And, it was such an example to me. It was huge for me.
Yeah. Being an offensive assistant here now, take me through that. Excited. What do you kind of want to bring to the Defiance College program in that role, Emily?
Yeah, absolutely. My resume is more geared towards, officiating, the operations side of football. So, as far as coaching, my resume isn't as geared towards coaching, but I think that's something that I have a very, learn as you go mindset. I'm very, very eager to learn, and I'm eager to learn the offense, and I think Manny has done a great job, and just being patient with me, and as far as just the offensive side of the ball, and I'm really excited to kind of translate what I've learned officiating and turn it towards more of the coaching aspect, I guess.
Yeah. Are you more of an offensive person or defensive person?
Probably offensive.
Offensive, yeah.
So it's worked out great.
Yeah, absolutely. And Manny's a great person to learn from. Although this is a complicated offense, so you got a lot to.
I'm ready
gonna have
for
a lot on your plate.
Oh yeah, but I'm ready for it. I'm thrilled. Yeah.
Yeah. Take me back to when Manny started talking to you, and I know there's a connection with Sarah Hogan, who is with the Falcons. Take me through that, and when Manny reach out to you about this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So I spoke to Sarah on the phone. It was a relatively quick conversation. She's going, and she's incredible in the NFL. So we had a really great conversation, and she said, I told her about what I was, mostly passionate about, and just what I've been doing, with football, and what I want to do eventually. And she did a great job just providing encouragement. And then she mentioned that she knew of a head coach looking to fill the role of operations, offensive assistant. And so I sent her my resume, and the next day, Manny and I had a Zoom call. So it was fantastic.
Yeah. And this is something that you were looking to do, or was this something that it came up, kind of an opportunity popped up, or was this something that you were looking to really get into?
I mean, I've wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And so it was so surprising to me that it all happened so fast. I wasn't any less excited. I was so excited. So yeah, as soon as the ball started getting rolling, I really liked the idea of working in operations as well as working on the offensive side of the ball, because that's something, being on field as an official, that's something I'm comfortable with. So I would be comfortable out on the field with the players and the coaches. And so before I got this opportunity, I thought maybe looking at a hybrid position between operations and field duties, maybe coaching. I was thinking about that. And so when this position popped up, I thought, wow, it couldn't get any better.
Yeah, absolutely. And your future, what is maybe your dream? Do you have a dream that you want to achieve in football?
Oh yeah. I've had it for a long time. You go through college and you think, okay, yeah, now that I know this is possible. So I was really lucky in college because, a lot of my friends didn't exactly know what they wanted to do, but as soon as I got to OSU, I know exactly what I want to do, and that's, something along the lines of what Sarah Hogan does for the Falcons is something I really want to do. Maybe executive assistant, something along those lines. Again, maybe a hybrid position is what I'm looking at. So something along those lines for sure.
Yeah. Now, could coaching ever get into your blood, do you think? Could coaching be something that would change your mind now that you're getting to do it?
Yeah, and that's something I've thought about. What if I completely fall in love with it? I'm open to that. I'm so excited. Again, I'm here to absorb as much as I can. I'm here to learn from Manny and his team. So.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and welcome to Defiance. We'll wish you luck, and
Thank you.
Looking forward to talking to you more down the road. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you for joining us on this latest episode of the Swarm and Shoot Football Show. If you're listening to this podcast, make sure to subscribe in iTunes, give us a rating, comment on the show. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell in the top corner there so you can get notifications when we release the next show. Feel free to comment below on a specific show, and we'll answer those questions as we need to. If you'd like to step up to the next level and get all kinds of updates, go to our website, swarmandshoot.com, where you'll get up-to-date alerts on all of our podcasts. You'll have the audio on there. There's actually a video player where you can scroll through each and every episode that we have of the podcast from the YouTube version. So you never really have to leave the site. You also see some features on various players, our coaching staff bios, all types of things going on in our program, when our golf scramble is, different fundraisers we do, just insights for you that take you to that next level, which is what swarmandshoot.com will do for you. Take a minute and subscribe with your email. When you log on, there'll actually probably be a pop-up about 6 seconds into it, and it gives you a chance to go in, and that will put you into our email database. So every time we update, you get an email knowing that we're basically set to go on the next episode of the podcast or any news that's coming out. Appreciate you supporting the program, and look forward to a wonderful season.